is Paris Favors, and I am a 6th grader here at Drew.
Today, Paris and I are going to talk about how STEAM is a social justice issue.
Growing up, I have been surrounded by STEAM, and have always known the importance of all STEAM fields. Every day, I go home to a mom who's a scientist and a dad who's a historian. This being said, it's impossible for me to go without knowing the importance of everything that STEAM stands for. The values that my parents have instilled in me influence my schoolwork and my decision-making skills. This is part of the reason they chose Drew, so that the same values instilled in me at home are reinforced every day when I go to school. I can remember back in June of 2020, when the pandemic was at its peak, standing with my family on the corner of the street across from the head of schools, Mr. Peter McKnight, in a crowd full of Drew parents, students, and Eastlake community members. For at least 30 minutes, we all protested for the justice of George Floyd. I don't know many other schools that would do that. Drew as a community has not only pushed my STEAM abilities, but made sure that every student knows the importance of equal rights and social justice for all.
Well, Paris, you're right. Not many kids get the opportunity to grow up in a household with STEAM and social justice focused parents, let alone get to go to a school where they're allowed to explore that focus. I know that I was inspired by the fine arts, and the fine arts were my gateway into STEAM. From a young age, I liked to explore, I was curious, I was very interested in drawing and painting and creating prototypes. This is a picture of my brother and I. We used to design forts out of found objects and then test them out. It's a lot of fun. I also remember a time in 2nd grade where I was very interested in designing a backpack. I created it out of copy paper and staples, and I put all my stuff in it and carried it to school. It didn't go very well. The low-resolution materials were very kid-friendly, and my knowledge of the design process was limited. Unfortunately, my schooling didn't have the materials to back me up. I didn't ever really graduate to more high-resolution materials or have the opportunity to develop my understanding of the design process exponentially further. Also, unfortunately, at the time, society and my parents weren't really encouraging girls to play with power tools. All of this means that, as I was thinking about doing my job shadowing experience and got asked to go to an industrial design firm to check it out, I felt very uncomfortable. I also felt uncomfortable when my high school class went to go visit Georgia Tech, and we saw all that complicated laboratory equipment run exclusively by guys. Didn't feel like I belonged. Also, I think one of the things that was most powerful for me were my fine arts classes. They were really my gateway. They were my way to understand the world. I took almost every fine arts class that I could, and I took science and math and enjoyed those, did well in them, but I never saw how the two connected. I loved my theater class. I got to design and build sets. I got to use power tools. So I learned how to use the drill and saws, and I never saw how that was connected to any STEAM career possibility for me. I also loved my photography classes and my art studio classes. I was able to see really how chemicals were used to develop film and process pictures. I was able to learn how to use acrylic and oil paint, and it was magical, but I didn't really see how it was connected to chemistry or physical science. The arts pushed me towards STEAM, but I didn't ever get pushed to the STEM. When I think about STEAM now, I know that STEAM is about making curricular connections in a real-world context. I also know that it's about opening up opportunity for the students that I work with. I want the students that I work with to love science, technology, engineering, the arts, and math. Every day I wake up thinking about how I can make sure our students feel comfortable in any lab, art studio, or office. That leads me to think about what materials, equipment, tools they need to be exposed to, what professionals need to be in front of our students, what experiments, what projects do they need to be involved in. STEAM can be a game changer. It really can. STEAM has the ability to take us further, meet the students where they are, and then push their boundaries and their comfort zone.
Drew, being the first K-12 STEAM certified school in Georgia, has made sure that all students have the ability to follow any STEAM career they choose. Drew has provided a wide range of enrichment classes and other extracurricular activities like science fair and other competitions to push students and keep them on their toes. As I said, I was always surrounded by STEAM and had access to amazing STEAM opportunities all my life, one of them being science fair. In 3rd grade, I did my first science fair project and have been doing them ever since. In 5th grade, my project tested a kids coding software to see how it would work with all different kinds of skin tones. This year, in 6th grade, my project has tested Zoom live transcriptions to see how it processes and transcribes different dialects of English. I found that out of African American males and females and white males and females, Black males have the highest rate of misidentified words. This just pushes the point that representation matters, and it's important that we use STEAM to solve and address racial bias. So even though I've had the STEAM door open for me all my life, this isn't always the case for students of color or girls. It's important that people of all backgrounds are included in all STEAM careers at an early age so that more diversity is found in all STEAM fields. Whether it be corporate technology companies like Google or Amazon that make AI, to engineering companies that make products meant to be used for all people. In order for society to function, it is vital that all races and ethnicities are included in STEAM careers. Representation matters, but this process has to start young. Drew has done a great job of making sure that kids of all ages and backgrounds are included in STEAM activities. But what is Drew doing differently? How can we make STEAM opportunities available for children across the country?
Harris, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked. At Drew, we make sure that our students have a lot of STEAM opportunities and are engaged all the time with STEAM. A few of the ways that we do that include STEAM Career Day, STEAM Workshop Day, professional connections all the time, makerspace hours, competitions, and performances. We start this early as kindergarten, so that our students get a leg up before society tells them what they can and cannot do. We also make sure that our strategies and resources are available for all on our STEAM at Drew website, so schools can literally copy our blueprint. In order to realize a more just society, education is key. Education in STEAM for underrepresented populations is crucial. But it's also very important that all young people learn the value of including voices that have traditionally been excluded.
My generation is ready to make the change, if only we're given the tools and the foundation from the leaders of today so that tomorrow we can use STEAM to make the world a better place.